Friday morning, day after the August 4th Shrine show, and Ellen's a little tired, but I am still kind of on a high, having witnessed some beautiful music creation.
Hazard reported ahead.
Now you know I use Waze, the boy band voice. And man, I heard a lot of different stories about how people got to the venue. Some people came from very far away. Some people emailed constantly to see if there were any, spare tickets. Some people called incessantly. Some people, pleaded for the +1 of people who bought 2 but didn't have somebody to go with, on the off chance that someone had an available one. People who had a +1 but didn't have anybody to go with did essay contests to see like which deserving Radiohead fan would get chosen. Some people did a prize, like a random selection, as to keep it fair. And just crazy stories of how people got to the show last night. And I'm kind of I don't know what it is. Like, I don't see too many shows, and I know I love Radiohead a lot, but it was just like I caught myself thinking maybe once or twice, like, is this really worth driving 5.5 hours and standing out in the super hot sun, and like the pre-party doors opening about half hour late and everybody's there like baking? I mean, is this worth standing? Like, I'm a big guy, my feet get sore. Is this worth? I caught myself thinking that maybe once or twice. It's like, do I really care about this band this much? Is it justifying? Look at all these people. They're just like so excited. But like, is Radiohead gonna be really this good? Can they even deliver? Can they, outplay themselves? Can they? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Last night's show, first of all, I was like 10 feet away from Tom York, and even closer at some points when he kind of came to our little area. But last night's show was like this.
Like 6 feet.
Say what?
Like 6 feet.
6 feet. Probably 6 feet away. That's like a length of me. And then just like watching them make that music, and they could phone it in. They could just be like, yeah, we charge money for these people to come here and watch us play, but we'll just show up late, or we'll just kind of do the same old stuff. No, Radiohead does not do that. Radiohead does the best they can do. The best they can is good enough. Sick Radiohead pun. You didn't get it. Anyway, so Radiohead is I was trying to tell Ellen like what it's like. I mean, sometimes I make breakfast, but when I make breakfast and I have like no time, no energy, maybe I'll microwave an egg. That's probably me like not caring at all. But when I have the time and I have the love to give to my breakfast making experience, I will saute some spinach. I will lightly fold some eggs with a slightly broken yolk so that it's fluffy and not overcooked. The egg doesn't get hard. I'll make sure I crisp up the bacon without burning it, of course. And what else do I put in there? I may put some cheese. And if it's not melted, I will actually melt the cheese in the microwave to make sure that the entire scramble is properly coated. Just a little pinch of seasoning, and I just put proper love and care into it. And you can tell that when Radiohead plays, they are putting their love and their care, and they're infusing their performance with their spirit. And it's like their identities are so distinct, you know? Like Tom York. Okay, well now start with Ed. Ed is like, he's the support, you know? He kind of, Ellen had a good way of describing it. It's like, now when she saw him live, she finally understood like what Ed does. Ed does the things that need to be done so that Johnny Greenwood can go off and like do his weird radio things and knob twiddling and like synthesizer and like computer messing about. Johnny Greenwood is like a little kid. Ellen said he's like a little kid, and when he plays piano, he's just totally hunched over. He's not looking at anybody. He's just like exploring the fun, weird parts of his genius mind. And then Colin, he is just like having a great time. Him right next to Phil, and he's doing this thing. He's doing this thing. He always does, just like this. Colin said,
Police reported ahead.
okay. Ellen said that Colin may be her favorite. Now, you know, just in terms of like kind of what he, how.
Well, I think Ed is my favorite because he's so good looking. But I think I like all of them.
He's not
together.
that good looking, right?
No, second good.
Second.
Best looking.
Phil is smiley and into it. You know what I mean? He like,
I like
he just,
Colin and Phil. They just seem the most normal.
they seem like normal people.
Yeah, they just
Tom
seem like
York,
they're
not
having a good
normal.
time.
Johnny, not normal.
Yeah.
Ed, kind of normal.
Ed
He's
is normal.
normal.
Yeah, Ed is normal.
Yeah. Ed, you know.
But he has to straddle like the not normal because he also has to put on a show because he's in the front.
Yeah,
He
you
has
can
to
tell
sing.
he's maybe not a natural performer.
Yeah, he has to straddle
mean?
too. He'd rather probably be in the back with Phil and Colin.
He probably would.
Yeah.
He would.
It seems like he needs
Yeah,
to.
he's a
like,
very like. He's not somebody who wants all the attention. Like he's not a flashy guy, I guess. This is the way I would describe it. But Johnny's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. You know, they played Let Down last night, and they played. I mean, seeing Johnny Greenwood play with all these different meters within Let Down, and he's just like leaning to his own meter. It's just like, he shows with his entire body what's going on music theory wise in his head when he wrote the parts. And 99% of what he does when it comes to guitar, piano, like more like traditional instruments, is pre-planned. All of it's planned. But the thing is, when he executes it, he's allowing you to see physically what was in his head when he wrote the part. And if you don't believe me, go check out Let Down, a video Let Down recently. See if there's one from the Shrine performance. If you don't believe me, watch him play piano on Daydreaming when he crisscrosses his right and left hands, because what the right hand is doing the same thing the entire song, even when the piano doubles up and inserts, instead of 6 notes per measure, 12 notes per measure. Notes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 are the same throughout the song. And then during the 12 note part, notes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 are on the left hand. So he plays it like this to show you, because there's a camera on him, to physically indicate what he was thinking when he wrote the part. And Brian, when he did the cover with me, it was actually like the harder way to play it because he was doing it with one hand. But the thing is, harder, easier, doesn't matter. It's not about. It's just about the beauty of the part, the way that it was conceived as like an interleaved 12-beat phrase that these different notes change around these same 3 notes. I got to do like another kind of analysis on that. But anyway, they played True Love Waits, the new version, and that was like, that changed my mind. It like it altered my mind. It was like so good. Amnesiac? Yeah, it made me forget who I was for a minute. For a minute there, I lost myself. No, they didn't play Karma Police, but they did play Climbing Up the Walls. Climbing Up the Walls was like a gut punch. Fantastic. They finished with their first set with Climbing Up the Walls, I think, and they came back with Let Down, and it was just like, oh man, this is like, dude, they're just so, they are making their scramble with thick cut bacon and just the right amount of seasoning. Love and care. So if you get to see Radiohead for the rest of this tour, you are in for a treat. I'm excited. I'm driving back up to Northern California. This was like a very, very crazy bing, bang, boom trip to see them in LA. And we are lucky enough to be able to see them again tomorrow. And I think it'll be a very different experience with thousands and thousands of people at a festival. But I will enjoy it nonetheless. And at the shrine, with just a few thousand around, that was like a gift. You know, I gave them money, but I got it. Just like I said when A Moonshaped Pool came out, it's like I gave them money, but I feel like I'm the one that got the gift. You know, it was just.
You didn't get just something physical. You got
I didn't just get a physical experience.
I got existential, like fulfillment of your.
There was a moment where I was so happy that tears came out. I was so happy. I don't know if you've ever been that happy, where you're so happy, tears just form. And that's just like, I imagine that's what happened when I like married Ellen. So same thing. Same thing. Man, what are some other highlights? Seeing Tom freak the F out on stage, just like his like sideways jumping moonwalk. I don't even know what that is. You know, that boy can move. And like Johnny Greenwood, his hair is getting so long now. His hair is nice. His hair is nice, although he scares you a little bit.
He doesn't scare me.
No?
No.
He scares me.
I feel like he's a little like maybe autistic or something.
Could be.
Hey, it's not a bad thing.
What do you mean? Is it like his body that's getting into it kind of thing? Mild autism?
Something, I don't know. Maybe it's not autism, maybe it's something else. That single-mindedness.
Yes.
It's like
He's a laser. Johnny is a freaking surgical laser. That's what he is. Clive, we saw him afterwards, but he was like on his way somewhere. Couldn't stop him. But Clive, man, he was adding just the right amount of, man, and he was singing along with a lot of the songs, and he was doing that last tour as well. But just to see how much he actually likes the songs, sometimes he's not even on the mic and he's singing the songs. He's just, as he's playing drums, you know, he doesn't have to, but he just enjoying himself. And yeah, highly enjoyable to watch him play. And the double drummer experience. What do you think about 2 drummers?
Hazard reported ahead.
What do you think about 2 drummers?
it's a lot of drums.
A lot of drums.
Well, I think it's sometimes they don't
feels like it's one complex drum. Is that what it is? And they brought out, man, they played there. I lost my. I don't know.
It's cool to see Johnny play drums.
Yeah, no, Johnny plays drums for there, and for Bloom. And Bloom, he's like very like lazy about it, and he's just like.
But he was consistent the whole time.
Oh yeah,
He just it was the same rhythm, but he did it throughout the entire song.
And you said Tom York was so happy. He was like muttering things I don't even know anybody could understand. He was just like muttering English things. And he made a nice little jab at Donald Trump. That was expected. The voice was on point. His voice was crystal clear, and I think I snuck a peek, even though I told myself I wouldn't watch any YouTube footage of live performances. I just wanted to experience it in person, knowing that I would be there last night. I'm glad I didn't see too much, but I did see a little bit of daydreaming, especially when somebody said, "Oh, hey, look at how Johnny's doing it." I was like, "Oh, that makes complete sense that he's doing the two-hand thing like that." But I saw daydreaming last night for the first time live, and it was yeah. Tom York was like using this thing to just like cut his vocals up and glitch it out a little bit, and it was sublime, and it was better than the clips that I had seen. Yeah, man, really happy we did that. I'm happy I got to experience it with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and so
It's ridiculous.
even as you are like taking the experience in, there's more that is behind that. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're there in the moment, but there is just like this gigantic source of inspiration, and like I don't think I've ever seen Tom York so free before. He's like locked up inside and like miserable from earlier years, but it's like he's like free, totally free, and yeah, that was cool to see. And I don't know if it'll ever get better than this. Like they may get better, but like being that close, I don't know if we'll have a better concert experience than that. I somehow am always wrong when I say that, like, because I probably said that about the last time I saw them, but yeah, that was incredible. Saw a few students of mine say hello. That was really cool. Some people I hadn't met before. I watched some videos of mine. That was pretty cool. And just to think, like, yeah, we can play their music. That's pretty cool. Just, put that time, put that work in, get a guitar or piano. You could be just like Tom. No, just kidding. We could try. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel this way about a lot of bands. And then I also think that I'm a little weird for, like, how much of my attention and energy and time that I put into following Radiohead. But it's never a waste. After an experience like that, you realize, like, dang, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why Radiohead is my favorite band. Anyway, Radiohead fans will understand. I don't have to explain. But yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Anything you want to say? should make a playlist of the album tracks that they played last night and make it into like a studio version of the set list that was played last night. That'd be cool, huh? I did that once for a Grizzly Bear show. I saw them at Big Sur a few years back, and then I just listened to that studio version of the set list they played that night over and over and over. And it was just a great set list from beginning to end, just the way it flowed. Last night's set list blew my mind. I think the only thing that could have made it better were 2-drummer videotape or a premiere of The Butcher, live premiere of The Butcher, but it remains to be seen. I did hear them warming up. I did hear the sound guys playing a portion of the videotape drum sample just to sound check the gear, even though they didn't. I thought they were gonna play it. But yeah, Shabazz Palaces, they're kind of different, you know. Kind of not exactly my thing, but there are a few moments there where I was like really feeling what they were doing. It was really cool, especially when the beat took over. You know, the way they rap is like the rapper is like he's like on the beat. Ba 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 ba. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
It's a little bit like Will Smith this time.
Will Smith? No, I think Will Smith, he has a little bit more like a freer sense of rhythm. This guy reminds me of another guy named Riff Raff, who I find kind of like a repulsive person on YouTube. But it's like Riff Raff raps like that. He's like on the beat. And like he's just got this swagger to it, but it's really cool. So Shabazz Palaces was enjoyable. A little weird at first, but you know, I'm used to weird.
They're talented.
They're talented. They're talented for sure. Especially when the dude was busting out some conga solos. And there's that one song where I think he was using a thumb piano.
Nice.
That was dope. But I'll probably look some more into them if I have some time. But yeah. Outside Lands. We'll see you in a bit.